Hey team, great day to be great. I'm excited to show you this new app that I just learned how to create. It is a weather app where it generates the weather, the current weather, in whatever city that you type in. New York, let's check that one out. Boom. We use an API to go ahead and grab the current weather from different places. All right. This will be a great project to have in your portfolio, showing off your skills. Let's get started. All right, so go ahead and create a folder first, and let's go weather app. In the description of the video, I'll have these images that you'll be able to download. Put that in the folder, and then let's start a new Visual Studio Code in our text editor. Okay. Remember, if you don't already have a go live, go ahead and grab the extension. Down here, it is live server. You need to download that if this is the first time you're using Visual Studio Code. Everyone else, let's start. We'll go index.html. Let's create a CSS file folder and then a style.css. Perfect. Let's start up with the starter files. Exclamation point, enter that. And then in our title, it'll be weather app. Good. Then let's link our CSS, style sheet, and then CSS / and style.css. Awesome. Very good. And now let's get our starter files for our CSS, starter styles, I guess. And let's go margin 0, padding 0, for a font, you can always go to Google Fonts and get whatever font that you want to use for your website. I'm going to use Poppins. I end up clicking regular 400. You go ahead and copy this. Put that under here, inside of your head tags. And then in the CSS, go ahead and copy this. Put a font family. All right, and then box sizing and border box. All right, those are the starter stuff. Very good. Okay, so now in our body, we can go ahead and start making the app. Let's hit go live to make sure things are up and running. So there we got weather app. That's our title right there, weather app. All right. Let's go ahead and start with creating a card, a div with the class called card. And in the card, we're going to give another class called search. And inside the search, I want to input yes, I want type to be text. And then let's give it a placeholder. Enter city name for the placeholder. And then let's do spell check false. And then we also want a button. And this button is going to be an image. Source, remember our folder is images. And this one is going to be the search.png. Search.png. And then our alt will be search icon. Okay. There you go. So we got our little search box, our input box right here, and then our image right there. All right. Let's go to our CSS. Let's give our body a background. Nice. And now we gave it a card, right? Let's style our card. Width 90%. Max width 450, 470 px. Gonna give this a background with linear gradient of 135 degrees and blending these two colors. Good. And nice. We'll have the color to be white of our text. We're going to go 100 px at the top. Auto, right and left. And then 0 pixels at the bottom. Let's round the edges. 20 px. And give some padding. Top and bottom, 40 px. And 35 right and left px. Great. And then text, align center. There you go. So now we have our card that it's nicely designed. So now let's focus on this search box, or like this input box. Remember we gave the search portion right here. So let's go search. Let's go width. Before we're styling this, we're going to like organize how we want these two to be displayed. That's in our search right here. So width 100%. Display flex. Align items. Center, nice. And justify content space between. Save. So now they're on either ends. Good. So now they're on either end. So now specifically we're going to focus on the search input. So we got search, and now this input is what we're going to focus on. You can copy this. Input, curly braces. No border, no outline. Let's go background. E, B, 1, 2, 3, C. And let's give this text a different color. Five. Give it some padding. 10px top and bottom. 25px right and left. I'm gonna go height 60. Nice. Again, let's round those edges. 30px. Flex 1. Margin. Right. And let's make that 16px. With a font size 18px. Save. All right. So there. Now that looks nice. So this, remember right here, the rounded edges, that's the border radius. We have no outline, no border. This right here is the color of the text, where we put color. This right here, the background, we made it white. The font size we see, 18px. Boom. Margin on the right side, that made sure we had space right here between this one. Okay, so now let's style this search image. Like the search button. So now we'll go search, button, and then let's go again, border. We can actually give these top three is going to be the exact same. So copy that here, paste, and then border radius. We're going to make it a complete circle, so that'll be 50%. Boom, so complete circle. Now let's adjust the width and height. 60. And height 60. Oops. 60px. And then let's go cursor pointer. Save. So now it's rounded. So now the image though, let's make that a little smaller. The image itself. So let's copy this. And let's go IMG to be more specific. And width 16px. Save. Good. Nicely done. All right. So we got the search bar, search box, what we need. Now let's add the weather. So let's go back to our HTML. Inside our HTML, under our search, make sure it's under the search and you still have a closing div there. Do another space. Let's give a class weather. Inside this weather, let's get an img tag. And we're going to go images is the folder. And for the first one, let's just do rain. And this time, instead of alt, let's give it a class. And this class is going to be weather icon. After here, we're going to go h1, and this h1 with a class called temp. And for us, we're going to do, let's say, temperature is 80 degrees Fahrenheit. But to be realistic, we need that little degrees symbol. So you can just go to Google weather. And right here, copy the little circle, copy, and then paste it in there. See, you got the 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Nice. We got the image, 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay. And then under that, let's go h2, and let's give it a class city. We're going to do Tampa. Tampa, and then we want to give some details here. So let's go dot details. Good. Inside that div, in our details, first we're going to give a column. And we're going to have two of these, two columns. So go ahead and copy this, paste. In our first column, let's go image, images is going to be humidity for the first one. Let's take off the alt for right here. Keep things a little simpler. And a paragraph tag calling humidity. Let's do capital H here though. And save. And then our second column, again img, images, this one is going to be wind. Okay, then here wind, speed. Good. Awesome. So go ahead and save that and let's check it out. So there we got boom, boom. We got it all organized there. So now let's style it so it looks nice. Let me just double check and make sure I got everything correct. Close tag, close tag. This one closes here. It's under our search. Okay. All right, so now let's style those. So we got weather icon. That's the first thing we're going to style. So you can copy this and go here. Width is going to be 170px. And let's give it a margin top. So right here, width is the size, we just made that. And now margin top, we're going to make sure there's a space here. Margin top, 30px. Save. See how it's a little bit more bigger? That's how to adjust it if you want it shorter, bigger, so forth. Next, let's go just weather this time, and let's focus on the H1. That is gonna be, let me make sure. H1, we got the 80, so we're focusing on the number. Font size. Let's go 80px. And font weight, 500. There you go. Stands out with a little pop. Can copy this again. And let's go H2, curly braces. Font size, 45px. Font weight, 400. And then margin top. And margin top, I want it to be -10px. Save. All right. Let me save that. Boom. Boom, boom, Tampa. There you go. All right, so now let's go dot details. We want display flex. Align items, center, justify content, space between. Now let's go padding to give it some space. 0 top and bottom, but 20px right and left, and then margin top. 50 px. Save. Good, good, good. All right, now for our columns. Let's copy this. Display flex, align items center. But then this time, text align left. Text align left. Boom, 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 boom. There you go. And then with the column here, focus on the image. Let's go font size. (40px) could be a little smaller. And then margin right. -6. No, margin right 10 px. Save. All right. Boom, boom, boom. Good. Almost there with our styles. Let's go humidity. And wind. Remember, that's these right here. Okay, I do got to put those. So after each image, let's go div and cut this, put it here, save. And then here, let's go a paragraph. And let's go 50%. And in here, I want class equals humidity. There. And then same for this one. Under the image, enter. Let's go tab here, tab here. But give it a div. Make sure this div is wrapped around here, that paragraph. And then this one, we're gonna write the wind speed. So let's say, just as an example, kilometers per hour. And inside this paragraph, let's go class equals wind. There we go. There, so we should have boom, 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 boom. Okay, did that. So now in humidity and wind, let's go font size to be 28px and margin top -6px, and go ahead and save that. Okay, there we go. Call image font size 40px. I don't want that to say font size. I want it to say width. There. There, much better. Okay, so now right now, our app is just displaying. Now comes the work, comes the beast part. Now we're going to create the JavaScript so that when we type it in, it updates to the current city's temperature. And you can see the current city's weather. All right. So what you got to do first is, well, let's do this first. Let's create new file, and let's go script.js. Let's link this script.js to our index.html. And then in here, we're going to go source equals script.js. Okay. Let's save that. And now, what we need to do is get an API. Get the API. And where we're going to get it from is open. You can go to Google. And let's go open weather. Open weather map. So you see it's openweathermap.org. And you're going to click that. And then for my classes, I'm gonna put my API key, and you guys just copy my API key that I provide you. But for other people that aren't in my class, you're gonna have to create your own account. Once you create your own account, you'll go to API keys. And then also when you create your own account, it may take a second for it to load. You'll go to my API keys, then you'll copy that. And then you'll go to this API. And then you'll go to this current weather data, and you go to API doc. And then you scroll down, scroll down, all the way to built-in API request by city name. Right? Built-in API request by city name. Then, let me just close that. You'll copy this right here. Once you copy this, and then paste it in the URL. Once you copy this, paste it in the URL, you are then going to, here, I'll do it. Boom. Paste it in the URL. And then you see right here where it says city name, you're going to delete that and put the city name that you want to look up. So we're going to do Tampa. And then the API key, you'll copy that API key and you'll delete that as well. And paste and enter. And so for me, this pops up. For you, if you just made an account here, it may take an hour or 30 minutes, maybe to an hour, for you to generate the API. You're going to have to go to your email, like verify that it's your email, but just give it a second. So if you're at this part, just wait, eat a snack, and then come back. But then once it is updated, you'll end up having this. And here shows all the units, really all the data for Tampa. You could see Tampa right there. It shows all your information for Tampa. Right here, temp, it has like, see this 302? You clearly know this is like the standard temperature. So you're gonna go right here and you'll put and sign units equals imperial. Enter. There. So at the very end, that's what we do. We put and sign equals units imperial, and then it shows Tampa Bay's temperature is 84 degrees, as you can see. Right? Okay. So now we want this information to be displayed on our app. Okay, this is just the standard stuff that I put in there. All right, so the way to do that, we need to first go to our JavaScript page and let's create, I like to put quotes, comments, API variables, and that's going to be const API key equals quotations, quotations, semicolon, and const API URL equals quotations, semicolon. All right, so the key, what we're going to do is going to go back to what we were doing. The key, well, let's do the key first, and that will be a little easier. The key is just that. So you copy and put that key in there. Okay. And now the URL is what we created here, but without the key, that's this right here, and the app ID thing. Delete that. And without where it says Tampa. Delete that. So all of this, copy, go to the URL, and paste. So you should have all this right here. api.openweathermap.org, data 2.5, weather, question mark, then let's put units, and then equals imperial. Now, what we can do now, it is a later step, but what we'll do now, just so we don't forget, put and q equals. And what that is going to do is it's like waiting on what city you end up typing in later. I'll remind you when that's in use later. So save that there. Good. Okay, so now what we need to do is create the function for it. To now, this function to link to API site. So we're going to go async function, and this is when we're checking the weather, so let's call it check weather. Parentheses, curly braces, right here. So async function check weather, right? So now let's go const response equal await fetch. Very good. And what we're going to fetch is this URL and API key, which is this and this. So let's go fetch API URL plus, this is a backtick. Put the, oh no, and sign, sorry. And app, like the app ID, equals money sign, curly braces, and this time it's app key. Good. And don't forget the semicolon. All right. We're doing good. We're doing good here. So make sure response is spelled correct. Check weather is the function. Nice. All right. So response is spelled right. Okay, so now we're gonna go here, enter. And then let's get the variable that we want. The variable is going to be data equals await again response dot JSON JSON curly brace semicolon. Okay, so to test this out, we're going to, let's do New York. No, let's do, what city? Miami. Let's do Miami. Okay, units. Okay, we're going to do Miami. And then, so now what we're going to do is test to see if our link to our API is correct. So we're going to print this data to the console.log and data and semicolon. So we're going to log this data that we're looking for to the console. And then in order for us to do that, we need to call the function that we created, check weather. So that would be just copying this right here, copy and put it here, paste, semicolon, save. Woo! All right, let's check if it works. Boom, boom, boom. Let's refresh this. Okay. So you see, this is just from our HTML, but let's go here, inspect, and you click console, and you see we have an object. Yes! Good job, Blaine. Nice. This is not easy to do, so I'm pumped. So we got the object here. That means we did enter all this in correctly. So we chose to look up Miami, right? So here's all the information now for Miami. So here's the city name. In Miami, it's saying the temperature is 86 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's look at the weather. It's cloudy. It's got clouds. Let's see the wind. Wind speed is 9. See that? Let's find humidity. I think it's in Maine. Humidity is 76%. 76% humidity. All right. So we successfully grabbed the data, the weather for Miami. Weather, Maine. So now we want this information to be displayed on our app. So what we need to do, let's go ahead and we can comment this out. Enter, enter. And so let's go document dot query selector parentheses dot city. Whoops, gotta put quotations first. Dot city. There you go. And then dot inner HTML equals data dot name and semicolon. Let's check it out. Save. And there we got Miami. So it's grabbing the data from Miami. Let me see if, does it do both? Oh, okay. So, okay, I'll show you at the same time. So that's name, Miami, Miami. Let me change the name just so you guys can see. Let's go New York. New York. Save. New York. New York. It's grabbing the name. Okay, so now let's copy this. Paste. Instead of city now, let's go temp for the temperature. So we can look in the main, you see the temp is inside of main. We can even open that. Main, the temp is here. So, inner HTML, instead of name, you go main dot temp, save. And now we got 72.54. We want to also show the Fahrenheit symbol. So you do space plus. You can go right here. Copy. And paste. But put it in quotations. And save that. And now you got the Fahrenheit symbol. Now though, anytime you look at it, you don't want this decimal, right? So let's round it up, or round it. So what you'll do is math dot round and parentheses, save. And now it rounds it to a whole number. Good, 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 good. Okay. So we can copy this part, paste. We also now want to grab the humidity, inner HTML, data, main dot humidity. Save. So it's got 69% humidity. So you'll see under main, the humidity 69. So let's change it to Orlando. Let's see. Whoops. Save. See, Orlando, 75 humidity. 75 what though? So we need to add plus, parentheses, and percentage. So people will know it's 75% humidity in Orlando. And then finally, let's copy that, paste. Humidity, the next one is wind. And this one would be wind dot speed. We're gonna do plus, and then let me look. Wind speed 8. So we're gonna do a plus. Whoops, we already got the plus. Quotations, and it's miles per hour. Save that. Boom. Got the 8. Got it. Nice. Nicely done. Okay. Very good. Very good job. So now it is it's 85. We can now, let's change it up. Let's go Dallas. Save. Dallas. 70. Wind speed 8.05 miles an hour. Let's actually even round this one. Let's go math dot round and put parentheses and parentheses, save. There, it rounds it. Sweet. Okay. So Dallas. So now what we want to do is be able to, like, I can switch it in here, but now when somebody searches your website, we want them to be able to type here, like Tampa, and then it works. Right now it doesn't work. So that's what we want to work. All right, so we can close this. We know where those are coming from. So this is what we got to do so that they can type. We need to create a few more variables. So this one is going to be search box variables. So we're going to do search box equals document. So it's going to grab what we input in the document, dot query selector, and it's going to be whatever we search, and inside the search in the input it's going to grab what we write in the input. So when we write Tampa, when we write New Orleans, that's what it's grabbing for this variable. That's the information it's going to get. And search button document dot query selector search button. Okay. Good. So now once we've done that, we now need to add in here city, because that's what we're focusing on, and then we're going to add city plus and then let's switch up this right here to now call our search button dot add event listener. Okay. Search button. Search BTN. Let me just make sure I'm spelling this all right. Just go ahead and copy this. Put it here. Boom. Dot add search BTN. Good. Add event listener parentheses, and we're going to listen for a click, comma, parentheses, boom, and boom, and boom. And now this is going in here. This needs to be closed here. Okay, that looks correct. I typed it in a little wonky, sorry, but like make sure it looks good right here, like this. Da-da-da-da, da-da-da. Okay. All right, so let me look at that. We're learning. Okay, and so now in the check whether, what we want to show up is, let me just copy it so it's spelled correctly. Spelled the exact same. This dot value. All right, so let's see. So now let's see if it works. So search box dot value it's going to get the value from the search box. The search box is getting the information from whatever is inputted, from the input. Okay? And the input, looking at the HTML, the input is right here. We got search, placeholder, like where we, like this is the input right here, wherever they enter the name, what name they enter in. Okay, so we can look at this. Now let's go Miami, enter. Okay, it's moving, so we know things working. Undefined. Let's check where errors is at. We can go console. So here I got object line 16. Okay, so this is line 16. Let's just comment this out and let's check it again. Let's go Miami, boom, undefined, line 13. So that's our city. You know, okay, look, remember earlier we were writing them in here, so I did not delete what we had here. We need to keep that blank so that now it's going to read. So right now it's reading Dallas, Miami. There is no city called Dallas, Miami. So save that. Now let's do it again. Miami. Boom. There you go. There you go. So even when you make a mistake, don't panic. You can go to the inspector. It'll give you the reference of where there's an issue, and then you just go in there and you debug. So we can close that. So now our app is working. We got Miami. Let's go Orlando. Showing us the temperature. Let's do Dallas. Boom. 6 miles an hour. 95%. 77. Good. Okay. So we can go New York. All right, but one thing now that is not changing, as you can see, the sun, like the image, is staying the same regardless if it's raining or not raining. So this is the next thing we want to change. We want to fix. Okay, so the way to do that is if data dot weather 0, and then we want a dot under that, main equals clouds. It was under the main and then it was labeled clouds, and we're gonna do curly braces. So we're saying if the weather right now is, if the weather is clouds, we're gonna go weather icon. So this is a variable that we're gonna create. So I didn't already create this. So first we actually need to make this variable. So this is gonna be our image variable, and that's going to be weather icon. We want it to equal document dot query selector parentheses weather icon. Okay. Save, Remember weather icon? We did it right here. That's where it's going to put. So it's going to switch this up. Okay. Weather icon. Okay, now we can use this. So we created the variable and now we are using it. So icon dot src equals quotations images / clouds. Awesome. And semicolon. Now there may be other conditions that we need to address for, meaning it's not always going to be cloudy. So we can copy this and then put else, paste. Keep it 0, keep it main. Now if it says clear, we want clear. Next, let's go else. If it says rain, rain. Oops, just that PNG. Save that. Again, else. After rain, let's say drizzle. Drizzle, and then else. Mist. Mist. There you go. We even got some more. Right? What other images do we have? Snow, wind. So if you want to use those, you can even put those in there too. For now, we're just going to put these. No. Let's put snow in there too. Whoops. Got to put the else. Snow. Okay. All right, got it all. Save. Boom. 2 equals is there. All right. So now let's check that out. This is our default. Miami. Boom. Clouds. So it's cloudy. Partially cloudy. Let's go Knoxville. Okay. So you see the image didn't show up. Let's see what it is. Oh, right here. So it's probably clear in Knoxville. And look, I have the 2 PNGs. So delete that. Save. Let's go Knoxville again. There we go. Clear. See? Making mistakes is okay. You just gotta debug. Let's go Memphis. Nice. So it's rainy a little bit. And then one more. San D. There you go. Okay. Cloudy, maybe a little bit of rain. All right, so now let's look if we spell a city name wrong. So let's do that. And then it just goes undefined. Let's make this look, let's make it look a little better. We're going to go to our HTML first. And under our search, right here, we're going to give it a class error. And in here, a paragraph saying invalid city name. Okay, save that. So you see we got invalid city name. Got it. Now, what we are going to do is, so also as you see, when our page starts up, we already have our placeholder text of Tampa. We also don't want that because that's not Tampa's weather or temperature. We want them to search it to find it in real time. So we're going to go to our style.css, and under here we're going to do dot weather, curly braces, display none. All right, save. And we're going to have it look like this to be the start screen. Invalid city name, we also don't want to be shown up right away. So we're going to do this dot error. We're going to first, let's style where we want to put it. Text align left, margin left to be 10px, font size 14px, margin top 10px. Let's save that. So that's a nice spot to put it. But then now we want display none so that we don't see it. Save. Good. Okay, so this is what our start screen is going to look like. But now when we write an invalid city, we want our error to pop up. But when we write a good city, like a city spelled correctly, we want our weather to pop up. All right, so now this is the code we're going to use to do that. So we're going to do this. Under right here, could do our right here. We're going to go if parentheses response dot status equals 404. That means there's an error. So if there's an error, so if we get the response status of 404, this is what we want to happen. We want document dot query selector. We want error, oops, quotations please. Want error to pop up first. Okay. And we're going to do dot style dot, whoops, dot style dot display equal to block. Like this is saying if we have 404 status, meaning there's an error, now we want our error class to display block. And document dot query selector parentheses, we want our weather, whoops, we want our weather weather dot style dot display to equal none. Sorry, quotations, none. All right, let's actually even test this out. Ah, nice. Okay. Now though, let's make it, if it's spelled correctly, our weather pops up. So we'll go else curly braces, boom, and we'll go var data. We want this. So instead of typing that again, we want this right here. You can cut that, put that in the else right here, and then we want all of this code that we made for it to be inside that else. Save. We can even put a little space there. Okay. Nice, nice. But now what we need to do after this, where I have snow, we need to go enter, enter. We need to do like pretty much the opposite of this one right here. So we can copy this for our error and bring it here. Paste. So in this case, let's put weather first. And we want it to display block. And for error, we want it to display none. So this is when it's spelled incorrectly, and this is when it's spelled correctly, like any other time when it's not incorrect. Okay, let's check it out. Moment of truth. Tampa. Sweet. 87 degrees Fahrenheit today. Miami. Whoosh. Miami. 89 degrees. Toronto. Okay. Let's do London, but let's spell this correctly. London. Boom. Invalid city shows up. Beast. Tokyo. Sweet. All right. There you have it. You have now created your first weather app using JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. Great job. Boom.